YouTube. Hey, as promised, here we go. We're going on to the next episode. Same day as the other one. You know, we're trying to catch up as much as we can. I'm fucking thrilled about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just go straight into it. We've recently, today, we've done the Mushko Tensei trailer. We've done an episode of Frieren. Here's the second episode of Frieren. Then we have potentially one more. I'm just thrilled, man. I'm so fucking thrilled. This show has so much, like, in it. I've heard one criticism of this show that I think is just wrong. And I think that this comes from an expectation of, like, having preconceived notions of anime. Which is, I've heard people be like, this show is too slow. No. I feel like this show is a journey. And this show is not just a journey for the characters, but for us as well. Like, if you've gone through some shit in your life, and you've gone through, like, loss, like, and especially if you've gone through loss, or you've gone through big aspects through, like big traumas or moments in your life, you can relate to a lot of the things that are being said in the process of healing and all of that stuff. I think it comes a lot with the expectations that not everything has to be action, because not everything is action. And the slowness is the point. Absolutely, 100%. The slowness is the point. And that's the key, is we're all in this journey together, ladies and gentlemen. We're all learning and advancing and going through 101 things, like, you know, through this. So I appreciate you all. Thanks so much for being a part of this, and let's go. All right, you guys should be able to hear it. Damn, she's not even like... What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. We have someone catching the stream for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. Bulbous! Welcome on in! Guys, drop Doritos for Bulbous. Welcome on into your first stream. Appreciate it. But also, she's edgy as fuck, bro. Oh my god. Like, she can literally cut you up without even looking at you. Like, damn. But even then, can you truly trust that? The reason why I'm saying this is, like, a lot of people... Loki, you can come in here. You can come in here if you want. I don't care. You know that. He's outside the door whining to come in, even though, like, the door is open. Like, a lot of people have, like, infighting in whatever, you can control the information that you give to lure people into a set of security. Loki wants to join the stream. Do you guys want to see my familiar? Do you guys want the Loki collab? It's a great strategy to pretend. Absolutely. Gift the sub to Loki. But, like, it's a great strategy to pretend and to throw that out there and, like, lure people into the sense of, like, oh, yeah, I know that you will only throw a kick whenever you do this, right? And it's like, no. Just go on the first class and tell lies. Absolutely. Here's the thing. A lot of people tell lies like they breathe. A lot more people are more comfortable telling a lie than telling the truth, right? Loki cam in the upper right hand corner. What's next? You guys want an eye cam and, like, all these, like, little gadgets? A PP cam down here, like. That's why we try and, like, not overcrowd it, you know. a tongue cam on this side. Loki treat cam right here. You know, it'll be wonderful. Chaos. But no, overall, the number one aspect that I'm getting at is, have you guys encountered someone like that? Like, and I really mean this specifically. Like, have you guys ever encountered an individual who mostly they would tell you half truths, but maybe a lot of lies with it that made you believe aspects of their story that you're like, ooh, okay, how much can I truly trust you in that regard? Why do I feel like Fern is literally just practicing on her? Like, we've seen Fern fucking blow away a mountain. Why do I feel like this is just fucking target practice? And like she's literally just fucking yeah, hello, Liana. Literally just using this as like a practice opportunity to test the might of mages in this era. Fern is just as stoic as Frieren, right? Yeah. She's measuring her like Goku. Oh, dude. I don't even think that this is legitimately like her trying her hardest. She's just like, all right, and it's a battle of attrition. Fucking wasted. Phenomenal. What a good way of also showcasing like Frieren's power on another individual and like how much strength that does entail. Just spam it, bro. Just spam it. I would love a realistic game also set in this world, you know, but just make it fucking extreme or hard, right? To do certain things. You don't have to be Frieren. You don't have to be a Fern. You could be an average magician in this world. But hearing stories like this, hearing stories of the great ones, of the legends or whatnot, and how strong demons may be in this realm, insane. You wanted us in your Pinguino cam? There you go. This is a fucking vibe, though. No worry, I have a good night. Stay safe. Senor Pinguino's here. I guess my next question for you guys is this. Are there other elves stronger than Frieren? Or more knowledgeable than Frieren? We know Frieren's lived a long time, and we've seen the other elf as well, who's also a hero of a previous era. But it's like, are there other elves, other environments, other whatnot that challenge or surpass Frieren by a long shot? Through that. And this is coming with the idea of how much more does Frieren have to aim for? Because once you reach the top, is there anywhere else to go? What keeps you motivated if you can't keep reaching up, if you can't keep improving, if there's no sense of direction or self-improvement in that way? By mages that have less money, sure. But there's a difference between being defeated by mages that may have died, that can die 100 years, 1,000 years from now, than like someone else that will be consistently kicking your butt. You know, other elves, other, you know, whatnot. Well, the monk is presumably more knowledgeable. Sure. Elves, okay. Oh. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, wait. I thought you could only use that on birds. Wait a minute. Hey, that's kind of kinky bondage. No, I'm just saying magical girls is leaking. Go to horny jail. It's a different spell. But nonetheless, it's still an ability spell, right? Stop a person from going. Which I guess my thing is, individuals like this, individuals like that have the ability to take a life, do you think that they're actively still conscious about it, or is that just something that they like they no longer think about. A life is just a life. It becomes a number. Is sort of what I'm getting at. Like, how do you feel like if you were to take her life, do you think that he would actively think about it, or is she just another number? And he's like, I just need to get this done and go on. And vice versa as well. Like, where does one put that like line at? True. It would have done so, yeah. Fucking break it. Break it. Break the cage. Or not. I would have been like, I can't have a still. Bitch, you can't have a still either. It's you know, it's property of everyone now. But also, in an environment like this, you really got to think quickly. Right? You have an opponent that has clearly overpowered you in a situation, has you up against the corner. What do you do in a situation like that? Do you, on one element, try to go all out? And let me go ahead and close this door because Loki apparently decided to leave us. Yeah, Loki decided to leave us, which is good. But anyway, like, what do you do in an environment like that, in a situation like that, where people are challenging you, right? They haven't said anything about the still being dead. True. I mean, if you kill the bird, you could you still turn it in, or does it have to be alive? Well, even past that, how do you negotiate in an environment like where your life is being threatened? Are you comfortable knowing how to go to navigate situations like that, or not at all? True. What's interesting is there's been a lot of studies as to like specifically like individuals who do enjoy killing murderers and aspects like this. And one of the key things that popped up from like studies that were like, oh yeah, you know what, like, do individuals who have been criminally charged for things, like, what are their normal rates? And we went over like earlier over like the standard deviation, or what we would consider normality in like extreme deviancy and deviancy in general. Something that they found is individuals who really get into something like this are either hyper or hyposexual, to the point of either being extremely attracted to the sexuality aspect with killing, or being completely grossed out, being like, ugh, like anything kind of perverted, disgusting. Like, this is why you don't deserve to be on this earth, like that type of a thing. And it's like, whoa, it's interesting how wild, like, even psychologically speaking, once you go into an extreme, those extremities still, like other extremities that we have, are still pushed out further out there for deviancy. I wonder if it'll touch on what else have you seen? Fine, I'll tell you my backstory. Classical villain line. Fine, I'll give you my backstory before I take your life. Oh no. Sure. Oof. Were these kids demons or were they just a part of war? And that's I guess the question that comes through with it is like, we're at least infantry a part of war? Normal kids, because that's my thing. It's like, let's be honest, even in our own history, I hate to put it this way, but like child soldiers, very much a real thing that we often got to see out there, right? Bet an Epsilon would get an entire book out of this man. And that's the element to bring out, right? Which is like, does taking a life change you? Does taking a life change you? Especially in an environment where you're giving a toddler, you're giving a kid a sword and saying, go fight for your life. I'm just cooking with Ed in my headphones. Ooh. Cyberspace. Mm. Because you can't really. Mm. Taking a life, I guess, in that regard, is never an easy thing to do. And if it gets easy, you have to question why. I'm going to throw this out to you guys so that you guys have like a thought of it, right? You guys are a psychologist, right? You guys are all psychologists in a country where euthanasia is allowed, where people can go ahead and choose to pass away on their own. You guys get one of the final says as to whether this person is allowed to take their life. Okay. Child comes through, or adult comes through, 18 years old, 19 years old, and says, hey, you know what? I'm sort of done. I'm done. So mentally, they check out all the boxes. They're A-okay with it. Do you approve it or not? What do you do in that environment? You have to, let's put like someone that just turned 18, someone in their midlife, and someone significantly older, like in their older years. Which ones are you okay saying yes to, and why? Which ones would you be okay with, like, planning out? Or would they all be okay with you? Or not? Or would you struggle with it in general? They're extremely healthy in every regard. Every way, shape, or form. There's nothing wrong with them in any way, shape, or form that you can identify. And yeah, I'd struggle. Yeah! I mean, a lot of people, that's a big struggle. I'll probably never approve any of them. That's why it needs to be a behind the mountain paperwork. Do you like Genshin Impact? If yes, are you ready to go? Wasn't there some Genshin drama or something that happened this week or something? I don't know. I try to stay away from drama. I feel like if I refuse, they'll do it anyway. Every experience changes people, an individual. Yeah. But for you personally, if you said yes, do you feel like that experience, that you would carry that weight with you? Do you feel like you would carry that weight with you if you said yes? That's why I bring it up, right? Even on the offside, right, of you just being like, oh yeah, no, mentally they're okay to do whatever decision they want. Sometimes you could like you could carry through that weight with you for some time. I've carried weight with me for some time, and I acknowledge the weight that I carry, because it's not psychologically. You have to distance yourself personally and professionally, you have to be okay with making some decisions and going by ethical standards as to what is permanent in whatever country you're in. And through that can be a lot. Whether it's end of life therapy or talking to the families and being able to take that in, even though it's not direct, you still feel that weight. Exactly. That's why there's a doctor, there's a psychologist, there's 101 other aspects of a care team there that all need to make a decision as well. Oh. Fern coming out of nowhere like a fucking ninja. Don't you move. Hands up. It's a cardboard box. Fern just walks around in a cardboard box and no one can see her. And suddenly she's like, hands up. Snake attack. Batgirl Fern. It's so good. Oh shit, you guys can't see. Hold on. I'm backing it up. It's a good thing I turned around. Mm. Oh, 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 oh! You were fighting Eren. You were fighting Eren. What happened? Yeah, no, she's dead. Bro, you might want to go ahead and no hesitation, just done. That means you can't pass. Yeah. What's it worth anymore? Yeah. You're a good liar. Why do I not like this technique? I'm looking at it. I'm looking at his like fighting style and everything. Like sending needles and shit reminds me of that Naruto character who would like throw needles and fucking like restrict people's movements. So that like old school Naruto and Sasuke fight and on the bridge with Sabusa. I always forget their name. But I just don't like this magic style of his. Like Haku. There we go. Thank you. Ice needles, yeah. Mm. I think he caught you. Yep. Did you? Mm. What the fuck? That was a fucking clone, brother. Clone no jutsu in there. But this is where you got to be careful. Even while fighting, right? You always got to be aware of your surroundings. And this is just an overall lesson. Like, for example, how many of you guys have taken a martial art, right? Or any form of a martial art? Anyone? Watch out for clones. I have. How many of you have been taught to fight more than one opponent and have fought more than one opponent? Love to go and highlight this way. Trust me, jiu-jitsu wonderful, judo wonderful. All of these martial arts are wonderful in their own way. But you should be learning to fight more than one opponent at a time. By that, I mean in a realistic situation, you're going to fight. It's very, very rare that you're ever just going to fight one person. It's more than likely that there's going to be a group of people. So you always should be like looking around and being able to go ahead and observe your surroundings, observe what's around you. So, for example, one of the things that I teach a lot of the people that, like, you know, I'm training is, hey, we're going to do a 1v3, a 1v2, learn how to get your exits, learn how to think around, learn how to look around, learn your surroundings, learn the ring, be able to go ahead and move, count your breathing, so on and so forth. Why? Because fighting one person, you try and match that, right? But all of a sudden, if there's a second person, you also got to be aware of where that second person might come through, of where that person might jump in and try and continue from that. That's why I'm highlighting it, right? Always be aware of your surroundings and always be open to, like, there might be a trap hidden. I just started fencing, but I'm not that sure that counts. Damn. You were just facing a fucking mirage there. You're done. It's like a fucking train ran through her, ran over her. God damn, bro. God damn. Vert is just information control can win a fight. Absolutely. And I think that's a big element through that, right? Is like how much information can you truly gain through that? Kamehameha. Here comes Thomas the Tank Engine. But that's that's the main element through this, which is like, how much information do you carry about your opponents and how much do you know? How much is unknown knowledge, preconceived knowledge, and then full on knowledge about it? So looking at this, I'm like, whoa. They've been underestimating Fern to the point where seeing this, she's gonna have a big target on her back as well going forward. She may already have one through that. Totally let her live. Totally. Mm. Oh, carry her. I thought you were gonna carry her on your back, brother. Well, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I have a like, you know, my I get it. Frieren, by extension, Frieren seem to symbolize a true mastery of the basics. They understand the fundamentals so well that modern magic can't even keep up with them. But I mean, and this just comes through with anything, right? You see someone so good at what they do that like anybody else that like they might be like, oh yeah, I have this new tool that helps me identify it. Can't really compete. You know, and it's you're just like, okay, that's cool and all, but like it takes you 2 to 3 times the amount of work and time to get in there. You guys ship? You guys ship? How hard do you ship it? We have a fleet now. Oh. I thought he was fucking killed from that. Holy shit. You can carry me on your back. Nah, bruh. We're just going to rest up. I think we're done. I think our test is done here. Oh, shit. Great but terrifying. You hear how loud that is? Great but terrifying. If I was in a weaker team, I would be fucking terrified right now. Why? Because now you can't, like, that loud of a rain falling, you're not going to be able to hear people, like, if they're plotting something, if they're doing something. It becomes a lot harder to track people and lose people's scent if it was raining all the way through, right? But just the sound alone, it would be really distracting. I feel like it would overwhelm a majority of what's out there. A very cozy battle. Mm. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, oh. Brother, I hope she's still alive. I hope she didn't just fucking go off into this new village, fucking marry someone, and like you go back into this village and all of a sudden it's like gone, brother. Oof, oof, oof. I'm over here thinking I believe in her. I present you my 3 kids. Oh, what an idiot. Aww. Hey, yo. Let's go. Let's go. I know, family introduction. Let me introduce you to my grandpa. Why don't you come through and I'll introduce you to my grandpa. But also, it's nice that even them, through like defeat and like actual introspection, managed to go ahead and like capture something and move forward. I think that that's like a powerful moment in of itself as well. Like, even through defeat, you learn something and you're able to like take that and move on and whatnot. Oh, get their ass kicked by Frienen's team just to run into their own still. Oh. All right, back to the action. Holy shit. She knows where you're at. Bro, did she train under Goku or some shit? Holy fuck. Like, holy fuck, bro. That instant teleportation. That shit's amazing. I would be terrified if I was under her. I'm not going to lie. I ain't going to lie. Oh. How many zooms can you do? Enough. Hmm. I mean, I guess I sort of understand that, which is like if you're genuinely a mage, if you're genuinely a first class mage, first class everything, you shouldn't die from a test this easy, right? But at the same time, for a lot of people, it sounds like this is an extremely challenging test, seeing their, like, how many people actually become first grade mages. The scene is crazy because it means Sensei getting had like no detectable mana at all for the still to be in them. Yeah, absolutely. It means that like they're at least they're able to go ahead and control their mana in a similar way that like Frieren's able to in that way. Oh, German lesson. Mm. Bet, 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 bet. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that Frieren is more than likely, if everything goes according to the way I'm thinking it will, Frieren will more than likely make it. Denken will either make it by some luck or whatnot, or will just be completely eliminated on it. You know, and so like that's sort of the way I'm thinking about it. Is more than likely Frieren and Denken are going to have a tough fight. Frieren's going to go ahead and overcome it, and take that lesson and go forward. And Denken's going to luck out in some way, shape, or form if it actually goes through. Mm. Silver. Oh shit. It's like when your grandpas are like, "Man, there isn't a. Have you heard of this old band?" And like they name a band from their time, and they're like, "There isn't a person in our generation that hasn't heard about it." And we're all like, "Huh? Huh?" What? Dinkin is Loki the go, but if he knew of her, that's fucking insane. He should know better than to mess with her. Absolutely. But that's sort of what I'm highlighting is there's different levels of interaction that comes through. There's also different levels of like knowledge, right? Because it's clear that the younger generation, at least French generation, Frieren is not as like, I guess, like known about as compared to the older generation, right? Those that knew of him as a hero. Symbol immortality slowly becoming mortal. And even past it, it's the degradation or the literal rottenness of immortality. You can like, are you truly immortal in that way, or do you start becoming a corrupted version of that immortality? Right, more like D-Day level. Haven't you heard of the party that saved the world? Is that in Kansas? She didn't want to be remembered, to be known. No, but Imo, there's still statues of them, and there's still stories of the party that saved everything. The Great Forgetting. Yep. I said degradation. It's like, I knew it might be impossible. Okay. Okay. You sure about that? But there's also a difference. It's like when you go against it, like against a wall, against an enemy. It's like imagine the white whale just appeared right in front of you, or fucking Orsted appeared right in front of you. Would you challenge it? Would you challenge them in that way? Well, GG. Well, GG. Orsted from Oshiko Tensei, or the fucking great white whale from ReZero. Would you challenge it? If it wasn't bothering you, they're not attacking you, would you challenge them? Killing an enemy and killing a child is a test of very different things. Absolutely. And also, sometimes in politics, if you're gonna go into that, you're gonna have to do some stuff like that you're more than likely not gonna want to go and do. Fuck no, nope. I'd have no reason to do so. No. Right. So why would you go the extra mile in this case and infuriate Frieren in some way, shape, or form, who's probably a more expert mage and can handle both of them or them in general? They can win the fight, but they're not going to win the war, and that's a big difference in that. Counter luck and move. If I have no chance or no reason to, it's like you already won. You're just stalling. Why do we want to elongate this into an actual fight? Sage, yo, what's up? Thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate it. You're a goat. You're a goat, Sage. A goat. How you doing? Right. Your subiversary? Oh, well, thank you. But also, 50 years ago, Himmel died 30 years ago. And then 20 years before that, magically appeared, suddenly appeared. Why is all my fucking red flags? Where are all my red flags? All of my red flags just fucking went up immediately. Siri suddenly appeared. Yeah. All of my red flags after the Demon King. And the sword that the hero still needs to use to defeat the great villain still hasn't been pulled. All the standards will change and none of this will ever mean anything. And that's exactly it, J-Dog. It's like, I hate to put it this way, but standards and expectations are changing every couple of years. Like, to the point where you can't really necessarily keep up unless you're always reading, always staying relevant. So, for example, you guys might not know this, but like, every day, essentially, I try and look up a new article, some new information, something new, because the field is evolving like that. And say that I were to rest, like literally just take the knowledge that I currently have and stop studying, stop trying to keep myself up to date. What would happen in 20 years? My knowledge, what I would be presenting would be outdated. Some of it foundationally might stay true, but most of it would start shifting with some of the research that is coming through, you know? You subscribe to journals, and I read a lot of like I subscribe to some psychological journals, some of the APA journals that come up. 50 years, it's like 200. Yeah. That's why I'm bringing it up. Like, if you look at some of the, for example, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, some of the what was considered a mental illness or diagnosis 20 years ago to today, you would be like, what the fuck? Like, what were people thinking, right? And this is why I'm saying, like, you need to stay current and you need to be okay with things changing and the fact that things will always change. So for Frieren, this is just like another little stepping stone. Why? Because shit's going to change tomorrow for her. For free? So she promised to grant the special privilege to anyone who... Could this be corruptible, though? Say that she has all of this knowledge. Say that she went out of her way. Say that she's the anti-flame. Flame, if need be. And she has all of this material and aspects that she suddenly appeared from. Could the knowledge that she presents be corruptible? I.e., yeah, she might be OP as fuck, like insanely OP or whatnot. But say that you start reading this, could you legitimately start slowly becoming corrupted by it? You get special privilege, but for what? Grant a special privilege to anyone who achieved it. All knowledge can be used to corrupt. Any one spell they desire. This is scary for me. This is fucking scary for me. Is also mommy, but also this is scary for me. At the fact that it's the all-knowing, all-powerful goddess. Think about the parataxic distortion that's creating, right? You're literally putting them on this pedestal as, oh yeah, no, she knows almost every single spell for humanity. But how? Does she know other spells? So she, oh. I think I think I think we talked about this a while ago. At what point do you start becoming a demon? At what point do you start becoming a fucking monster in a series like this? Holy shit, brothers. To corrupt only when knowledge needs an unethical point of view or limited knowledge, right? Also, remember video Ed. I will. I will. Thank you, though. Gave Ed the spell of wizardry. No. That came from the great masters of old. Mm. I mean, I'm sure you'll put up a good fight, but god damn. My question for you guys is, are they not reminding you of the demons? Like the instructors in general? Like, are they like in the fact that they're not really like emotionful? Like they're not really showing much emotion. There's a lot of action and stuff happening. And even previously, they're just instructors. Sometimes it's even caused by an injury to the body. I straight up thought the girl seemed like a demon at first, not gonna lie. Since it looks like they have seen that shit so or worse so many times. That still doesn't stop someone from responding even a little bit. I've seen therapists literally, like I've supervised some therapists literally in the room, and I've seen the technique 1,001 times. That doesn't mean I'm going to be stale bored from it. There's going to be some instances where I'm like, hey, that was pretty good. That's interesting. But to the point where their mana is so suppressed, right? They're humans whose mana is being, they can suppress their mana to the point of getting this fucking bird, right? The human mages are all probably like oof. I'm just wondering what makes a demon a demon, and what's the line between a human mage first class who is very much like whatever, people are gonna die, 1/3 of them, versus individuals like that. Demons are actual monsters. What makes them monsters? OP in this world, that makes sense if they had taken a dozens of this test. Yeah. They have seen that shit. Anyway, sorry. Going back, his masters. For power and knowledge corrupting people, how much is dependent on the character of the person wielding it in the environment? Well, I mean, that's the question of nature versus nurture, right? Well, they evolved from actual monsters and then they die and they become mana instead of corpses. Sure. But at the same time, we evolved from literal animals, right? And we still have mana in this world, and so we could go down that route as well, because people can be monsters as well. So that question still stands: what is coming specifically from having this first class mage, from being given this power? By demons, it means monsters, Nick. And by monsters, yeah, if you're going into that regard of them losing aspects of humanity, that's turning into a literal fucking monster. That is literally turning into a demon. If you are legitimately losing what makes you human, are you human? They can't be communicated with. They're always right. People are going to die. There's no empathy. There's aspects of whatever. That's the key element in that, right? Even Frieren will empathize with you. Frieren will try and empathize with you. Even to the point of, hey, guess what? Even with the demons, we saw a little bit more emotion in them. And even connectiveness to like, oh, well, she died, right? Like, oof. But we saw a little bit more of like the communication and aspects within them than we're seeing between these two characters. So what makes a first-class mage special? Like, what makes them this way? They haven't been human before, but I hope they complicate the demon question later. Which also brings up another question, which is, if the sword of the hero hasn't been pulled, is it because of this? If the sword of the hero hasn't been pulled to vanquish the great evil that may come, and I'm not just saying demons, but great evil, is it because of this? Exactly, Rolfion. Thank you. That's a good point. Oh, shit. No way. No way. No way, brah. Himmel was just too good for it. Himmel was amazing. I feel like people give Himmel too much shit, but Himmel was amazing in that regard. All right, guys, let's listen to the ending, and then I'll give you my full review of the episode. Guys, what do you think would give Frieren closure? And I'm vibing with this song, and every single time we reach the ending, more thoughts coming in. For example, if she were to see Himmel again and say that like her and Himmel kissed and like just solidified the ending of what could have been, that bittersweet ending, would that satisfy her need? Would that bring closure in that regard to whatever she's seeking internally of understanding love? Or not? If she were to meet him, would that make her want to stay there more? Would that make her miss what could have been? Would that make her want to stay more in the past than in the present? Whew. Sorry, guys. My mind's fucking processing shit. Latitude, yeah. God. Oh. Oh. I'm so excited, man. So fucking excited. Holy shit, boys. Holy shit. What an episode. I have to say, I feel like these episodes were just fucking hype, bro. They were just straight up peak fucking episodes. And let's call it how it is, man. This show knows what it's doing. Yes, we're watching another one. We're watching the final one. This show knows what it's doing. Well, yeah, I gotta go pee, so we're taking a quick little pee break in a bit. But this episode knows what it's doing, and the show knows what it's doing in the way that it's like setting us up for this grand adventure, and it's taking us through it, right? Like step by step by step by step, and it's beautiful and it's powerful, and it's literally a grieving process, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, It's literally taking us through. This is the grief wheel, right? And this is how we go through it. Shock, protest, disorganization, reorganization. We either recover, we deteriorate, or we go through it again. When we're going through aspects like this, right? Sometimes we go through numbness, and we go through like the actual shock, the yearning of, I wish I would have known what love is. The confusion of it. Was this love? Was this not love? Trying new patterns to go ahead and do it. And we either recover, we deteriorate, or we go through the cycle again. And seeing Frieren and every one of these characters start to understand themselves and their own process through it. Color me impressed. Color me impressed with this show in general. Frieren is a fucking amazing show. And I think it deserves more love than what most people gave it. And especially all the complications. I've seen a lot of people shit on the show for being too slow. I've seen a lot of like younger people specifically be like, oh, this show's irrelevant. This show doesn't really, it's too slow and whatnot. And it's like, the best advice that I can give you is your older self will like the show. Your older self will probably come back and cry at some points in the show. Your older self will probably come back and look at this show and be like, oh, fuck. Like, now that I've gone through life a little bit more, there's some points in here that I wish I would have taken away from it. And that's the impact that this show has. And I think it's so beautiful. You know, they will learn that the slow is good. Exactly. It's got a nice calm pace. And this shows exactly what I think we need a little bit to go and connect with life a little bit. It's a mature show that a lot of people haven't appreciated yet or gotten there yet. Exactly. I've heard people call it the side quest show. It's probably one of the most main quest shows out there. But through that, ladies and gentlemen, I give this episode, it's fucking picking up. Like, we're starting to see a little bit more. It's starting to get to like an 8.5 out of 10 Doritos. We'll see what the next episode holds, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fucking hyped. Guys, please leave that love, that like, that subscribe. Hit that, leave a comment and come and join us, guys, because we're going to go ahead and try and do this at least every Sunday or so, just to make sure that we keep it a Frieren Sunday or Friday or Sunday. I'll let you guys know on the Discord. But come and join us. Show that love and support, because YouTube doesn't really help promote us that much. So I appreciate y'all. Guess who's here? Senor Loki. Hi, Loki. You want to say hi? He's like, oh, I want my snack. I want my snack. I want my snack. Hi, Loki. I know. He's big. I know, a big boy. He's like, hey, you gonna let me out? Here, okay, take your snack. Thank you.